I'm transforming into a superhero character, like a Superman, that things just don't hurt him no more, that I can do almost anything. When I was little, teachers used to not think too highly of me. They never really gave me an opportunity to do that much. I always felt that I was not good enough. That's the reason I got beat up. That's the reason teachers said I wasn't good enough. No matter what I have to go through, no matter what I have to do, I will be good enough. The last guy to beat me up the last day of school. And I remember coming home, started doing my push-ups and sit-ups and working out. You guys come off the ball, you hit them right in the mouth, you gotta prove what your name is. This is Georgia. I wish they would see the real person in me, and one day they would know I'm not here for the show. Who I am, what I do, is only the reaction I get from you. That they cannot see, because all they see is the outside of me.
I always tell the story about this man that had these two little twin boys. One little boy is always positive in life. No matter whatever happened to that kid, he's positive about everything. But this other little kid is always negative. No matter whatever happened to that kid, he's negative about everything. And the father don't know what's going on because they're twins, but they're so opposite. So around Christmas time, he's tried this little experiment. He put this negative little kid in this room with nothing but brand new toys. But he put this positive little kid in this room with nothing but horse manure. And after an hour or so, he looked in on this negative little kid and he's complaining. I don't want this toy, I want that toy. I don't like this, I like this. I don't like that bike, I want this bike. I don't want this, I want that. Father knew that this kid is never going to amount to anything because nothing ever makes him happy. But he looks in on this positive little kid that's in the room with the horse manure. He's got a shovel. He's shoving this horse manure over his shoulder. He's laughing and singing and having a good time. First thing the father thinking, this kid is crazy. But he asked him, said, son, what's going on? What's going on? The little boy looked at his dad and said, you know, Dad, as much horse manure as there's in this room, there must be a pony at the bottom of it. And the reason I tell you that is we all have a pony, but sometimes we can't see that pony because we got so much crap around us that we don't want to dig. But I'm here to tell you that if you grab a big shovel, you'll find that pony, because as I stand here before you right now, this is not the Herschel Walker of that stuff that he was just reading about, because I'm going to take you back a little ways. When I grew up, my mother made me feel good. She told me I was big bone. A lot of my friends said, no, you're fat, you're chubby, you're big. I had teachers that put me in the corner. The teachers told me I was special. And then, you know, what's so funny, I used to stutter real bad. I used to beat myself up because I couldn't get my words out, so all the kids made fun of me. And because I was so weak, they used to beat me up. So for 4 years, I never took a recess. The 4 years, I never went out for recess. So the last day of school in the 8th grade, I thought it was okay to go out for recess. So I remember going outside, and I looked out, and I could see all the kids out in the playground playing and stuff, and I thought it was okay to go out. So I remember stepping over that threshold, getting outside, and there was a kid by the name of Anthony Logan. He jumped on me, and he beat me up. And what's so funny, I still remember his name, and I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but I Google him today sometimes, just trying to come up with him. And I haven't found him yet, but I've been Facebooking him and stuff. But he beat me up and stuff, and all the kids were laughing, and they thought it was funny. And I remember getting on the school bus and going home, and all the kids are laughing at me. And I got home, and I'm going to take y'all back a little ways again. Gilligan's Island was on. And I remember looking at Gilligan Island, and I said, enough is enough. I said, I would never get beat up again. I said, I won't have a teacher to ever put me in the corner again. I said, I'm not going to take that no more. So I started doing these push-ups. I started doing about 5,000 push-ups every day. I started doing about 5,000 sit-ups every day. I used to go outside, and my parents had a tree in the backyard, and I used to climb this tree, and I was 10 feet off the ground. I started doing chin-ups. And I went to the library, started getting books, reading to myself. My speech got a little bit better, where instead of walking with my head down, I started to rise up a little bit. And I had that eye of the tiger. And I went back into the 9th grade, and now I got some guns on me now. So I don't have kids picking on me. Instead of going into that corner, I sat out front of the class, and I started answering questions. So all of a sudden, that guy that the teachers put in the corner becomes valedictorian of his class. Well, no, that's not good because there was 2 people in my class. I could write, the other guy couldn't and stuff. No, I'm just joking. That was a little bit more. So this kid becomes valedictorian of his class, and also this kid comes back to school, and you remember in the 9th grade, I was one of the fastest kids in the state of Georgia. Remember, that was just little fat kids that kids didn't want to play with. And I started playing this game called football. People didn't know I didn't even like football. The only reason I played football, my mother used to make me wash dishes. So I thought if I played football, she wouldn't let me wash dishes anymore. And I was wrong. Now I got to wash dishes and play football. So I had a little bit more work to do. I was pretty good at this game. But so all these colleges started coming for me to go to college and stuff. And let me tell you, I didn't want to go to college. People don't know I was going to the Marines. I had an uncle in the Marines and stuff, and I wanted to be a Marine. I thought I was a good guy to be in the Marines and stuff, with all the push-ups and stuff I was doing. But I couldn't bring myself to tell my parents I wanted to go to the Marines because, you know, I was valedictorian. I have all these scholarships from all over the world and stuff. And people don't know I got drafted by the Milwaukee baseball team. I was a center fielder in baseball and stuff. And I had all this potential, as people say, but I wanted to be in the military. I wanted to do something for my country, I felt. But my mother always used to say, if your heart and your mind is pure to the Lord Jesus, it really don't matter what the decision you make because he'll make it the right one. Well, I'm a teenager. I'm a little rebellious. So I told her I'd flip a coin then. Go to the military or go to college. I got to go to college. And I go, crap. Because now God won't let me do what I want to do. So I'm not going to the University of Georgia because everybody in the state of Georgia want me to go to Georgia, and I'm not going to go. My parents wanted me to go, and they used to say, I'm not going to tell you where to go, Herschel, but your sister is at the University of Georgia. But you make your own mind up, but if anything goes wrong, we're only an hour and a half away. You can come home, but this is your decision. So I said, okay, I'd like to go to Clemson. So I'm going to flip a coin between Clemson University because everybody hated Clemson in Georgia. So I'm flip between Clemson and University of Georgia. First flip, Georgia wins. I said the best out of 5. This is true. Next 2 times, Georgia wins. I said, you know, Mom, I love to go to USC because I felt if I can go to USC, it was so far from home, they'll let me go to the Marines. First flip, Georgia wins. Next flip, USC. The next 2 times, Georgia. I said, no, I'm going to pull the names out of a bag. True story. I pulled Georgia all 3 times. This is totally true. I said at that time, I'm going to Georgia, and I didn't mean it. I went outside to play with my younger brother. They called Coach Dooley and all the reporters up, said he's decided he's coming to Georgia, he's coming to Georgia. Well, all the reporters showed up at my home that night, and I was too embarrassed to tell them I was joking, that I signed to go to the University of Georgia, and I didn't want to go. Well, what was so strange is that night, the head coach at the University of Georgia came up to my father and myself on my front porch, and he said, we're very happy to have Herschel at the University of Georgia, but we really don't think he can play at the University of Georgia. He said, you know, he's from such a small town. We don't think he's up for that type of competition. And all my life, I've heard people tell me that I'm not good enough. Now, I thought I worked myself up to be good enough, but now I got a college coach that I just give my life to telling me I'm not good enough again. So I said, okay, 7,500 push-ups, 7,500 sit-ups, serious business. First day of football, I'm a freshman at the University of Georgia. I run a 4.25 at 210 pounds. A 4.25 is getting it. You can go get it. But this coach is still not going to let me play. This coach still got me in the 14 running back. I thought I was doing well, and he just said, well, Herschel's okay, and all this stuff he was saying about me. And I was a mama's boy, and I would call home, and my mother said, don't worry about it. The Lord is making a way for you. And I'm thinking, what God got to do with football and stuff? So I would call home, so we're playing, and all of a sudden we play the University of Tennessee in Knoxville, Tennessee, 92,000 people there at the game. 2,000 from Georgia. They put them in the end zone so they couldn't be seen or heard and stuff. And now in Georgia, we're getting beat like 15-0. And all of a sudden, there was a chant started. We want Herschel. From these 2,000 people. This in God is showing his mansion right now. We want Herschel. 2,000 people over 90,000. We want Herschel. And it got so loud, Coach Dooley decided to throw me into the game. Well, he threw me into the game, and now we win the game 16-15. I scored 2 touchdowns, and now he's got to let me play the next game. And we played Texas A&M, and we beat them like 42-0 and stuff. And I scored 3 touchdowns, have 180 yards in 3 quarters, and now he's got to let me play my freshman year. Well, what's so fun is Coach Dooley is real big on rules and stuff, and you have to make your bed, you have to be out of the room at a certain time, and your room has to be clean and stuff. But he didn't know that I was a good student, so I got good grades. And my mother used to spank me if I didn't do my room, so I knew how to make my bed. I knew how to do all those things. So now you got to let me play it. Now we win a national championship. He was talking about the national championship that we won and stuff. And what was so fun, I get nominated for the Heisman Trophy. I'm going to tell y'all another secret. I didn't even know what the Heisman Trophy was. I never followed football. I never looked at football. I never seen football before. I read about football. I never played football. So I went to see what the Heisman Trophy really meant. Man, I didn't realize that's a big-time award. I was like, wow, crap. I was, man, that's big time. So I got excited because the whole University of Georgia got excited. But you know what? I didn't even win it. They gave it to George Rogers. And I was much better than George Rogers and stuff. But all of a sudden, we go into my sophomore year, and the same thing happened. We have this unbelievable season because people don't know I only lost 1 regular season game my whole time there at Georgia. I'm nominated for the Heisman Trophy again and stuff, and do y'all know I didn't win it again? They gave it to Marcus Allen, and I know I'm better looking than Marcus Allen and stuff. And then we go into my junior year, and this is what's so strange about it. Going into my junior year, I had decided, you know what? I've done everything my parents wanted me to do. I've done everything the state of Georgia wanted me to do. Why don't I do what Herschel wanted to do? So I made my mind up the last day of training camp. The next day I was going to go and I was going to sign and enlist and go to the Marines. But this is how God is always playing these tricks on me, because the last play of that practice of the last day of training camp, I was running this play and I slipped 2 yards and fell out of bounds. And if y'all remember, my junior year, I broke my thumb, and I broke my finger. And I remember looking at it, and the bone was sticking out through it, and I went, crap, man. And I grabbed it, and I put it back in place, but I couldn't move it. And it was amazing that my hand swelled up so fast, and I'm like, good, geez, I can't even use this hand no more. So now I can't even go join the Marines, and I'm like, geez. Now I go to the hospital, and they do what they call a local. You know, a local where they put the circulation off. But what was so funny about it, they charged me this huge bill, but the only thing the doctor did was he took a power decker drill, and he took these pins about this long, and he drilled them into my finger like this here, and he took some wire cutters and cut them off. And I was thinking, my dad could have done that for cheaper and stuff. But then he took that thing off, and I remember walking out of the hospital room, and I saw a nun coming in. And she said, you look like that was a Herschel Walker. She said, what happened? I said, I broke my finger. She said, the Lord is making a way for you. I said, she's got to know my mom.